need tonight is your voice and an upright piano. Cause those are two of my favorite sounds. The lions at the gate in my mind, and we've run out of ammo. But everything is gonna be just fine. Can we roll it? Can we hold it? Can we drink it, chop it up and smoke it? Can we peel it? Can we pop it? Cause we don't like feeling these emotions. Can we try it? Can we find it? Can we please be kind and just rewind it? This is real life, these are real times, and we're always wanting to escape them. Put down that vice, they're all nice. Let's have a conversation. Cause you are one of my favorite songs. It always ends the same way for you, and those demons are chasing. Can we face them? Can we roll it? Can we hold it? Can we drink it, chop it up and smoke it? Can we peel it? Can we pop it? Cause we don't like feeling these emotions. Can we try it? Can we find it? Can we please be kind and just rewind it? This is real life, these are real times, and we're always wanting to escape them. All I need tonight is your voice. All I need tonight is your voice. Let's not roll it, let's not hold it, let's not drink it, chop it up or smoke it. All I need tonight is your voice. Can we roll it? Can we hold it? Can we drink it, chop it up or smoke it? Can we peel it? Can we pop it? Cause we don't like feeling these emotions. Can we try it? Can we find it? Can we please be kind and just rewind it? This is real life, these are real times, and we're always wanting to escape them. All I need tonight is your voice.
Chances I gave up, all the wasted time when I was stuck. The pain was all too much, still I'm holding on inside. I'm messed up, I'm toxic, I'm dragging you down. Can you still love me? Can you still love? I'm still here,
Here it is, the Attraction Marketing Play Guide, Day 4. B-Dog in the house, coming at you live and direct, Facebook live style. Hopefully you have found your way to the live, and I must apologise in advance for changing the game on you and changing the time on you. Man, what a silly thing to do. Life gets in the way sometimes, as I'm sure you understand. And being a live show and being a live training, I want to make sure that I'm in the room with you as we do this. So anyway, it will not happen again. So I apologise for anyone who, who moved things around and did whatever you needed to do in order to make sure that you were here with us. And we're here with me today. Sammie G is, again, like I said, life gets in the way, and she does have appointments. So she does send her sincere apologies that she will not be on the call with us live. However, I'm sure wherever she is, she will be in the chat room at some point. So making sure that when you are here, any questions that you have, drop it in there, and we'll make sure that we get your questions answered as we go. But guess what? This is day 4. Day 4. Wow. Is this frozen again? If you're with me and I have frozen, hopefully I've frozen on the good side of me. Excellent. But anyway, thank you so much. It's day 4 here, and we are all about nurturing your doing your nurture campaign. So just a quick check-in. I wanted to find out how you're doing. I wanted to find out, what's going on in your world. Life is happening, I'm sure. Life is happening in your world. Things are going on, and I wanted to just congratulate all of you who have found the time, prioritized the time to be keeping up to date with this 5-day challenge. Like we said yesterday, this is a compounded effort. Get it done. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about small compounded, energy and putting it all in at once, and then having something. And it's that be do have. Being committed, doing the work of what a committed person does, and then at the end of this week, I'm going to have the results of a committed person. So. It's not easy. I get it. It's not easy, and life is never going to run on time. And like Sammie says to me, Sammie G always says to me, success doesn't care, B-Dog, about what going on in your life. Success does not care. It is not waiting for you. You're going to make it happen. So if you want to become a success at anything, you have to carve out the life of a successful person, and that's what it's all about. So a quick check-in. So we've done day 1. Let me just throw this up because I'm going to be flying by myself. It doesn't. Tracy Clevers, thank you so much for pointing that out again. I do have a gentle reminder every day with Sammie G that tells me that, and hopefully that's the same for you guys as well. That success does not care, and so we have to go out and get it. And, life is basically saying, prove it. Go on, I dare ya. Prove to me that you want it bad enough. I mean, how bad do you want success? And how bad do you want to build a business online? How bad do you want this to actually, be a long-term strategy for you? And, there's a let me just get into here. There's a gentle reminder about, life and how it goes on. I mean, every day there's things happening. Every day there's life is coming at us 100 miles an hour, and we've got to make sure that if we want that long-term success, we want to be able to build something long-term. We've got to make sure that we have the structure and the foundation around us to be able to support us long-term. You've got to have the foundation around your long-term strategy, and again, this conversation is going to be a big one. I cannot wait to have this discussion with you today, because I see it in the chats, and I see it in the Facebook groups, and I see it in people. And we talk about emailing. We talk about is this the right way to go about it? And everyone has their numbers, right? Like everyone parades their email app. They're like, look at how many emails I haven't opened. Like that sort of thing. Everyone's always in a hurry to show up the app. Whenever you're talking to someone in person and stuff, it's like, look how many emails I get every single day, and look at how many I haven't opened. And it's like, okay, I get it, I totally get it, but I'm here to talk about that. This is a great strategy. It still is the strategy that trumps all others are the media channels. And I'm going to talk about why this is so important for the foundations to long-term growth, because lead generation is a long-term strategy. It has to be part of the main thing that we do here, because we need brand new energy. We need new eyeballs on our products. We need constantly people coming in as a customer, social marketers, launching new teams. These things never get old. You never get to a space inside of this business where you're like, I've got enough people. I don't have to do anything anymore. I'm just going to sit back and drink my pina colada. That's not the plan. That's not the growth strategy. That's not one that we're looking to, to really harness. And I feel that once, if we don't have things in place, when life comes at us, which we all know it does, when life is coming at us and we've got, we're busy here and we're busy there and kids and all this sort of stuff goes on, there are times where you have to prioritize that side of your life, all these other things that are buying for your attention. And so if we set this up right, this can be on autopilot. This is one of the things that we can automate, in which what I mean by that is, whilst you're out enjoying your family time, your business is still having the conversation that you want it to, in terms of talking to brand new people, in terms of prospecting, in terms of warming up your relationship with your brand new subscribers. And you're able to do this just once, right? And like we have been talking about all week, and that's why attraction marketing is so sexy. It is so sexy because if you do this right, and you do, understand that there is so much more at play than a two-dimensional Facebook post or a reel or, or social media. And we are going to talk a little bit about that. But there's so much more to this. And if that's all we're relying on, this very front-ended conversation around us, our product, and people who haven't bought our product yet, which are our prospects, we understand that, if that's very two-dimensional and we've got nothing else backing us up, it is work. It just becomes this work thing. And so many people say yes to this business, this social marketing business, this, online space, because they want freedom. They don't want another chain that they're dragging along, the ground, and they just add more chains to it, because it weighs you down. It becomes exhausted. Like, you become exhausted. You get the burnout. I mean, and if I'm, if you agree with that, you sort of feel that, then just drop it in the chat. Let us know that, this is a real thing. And so you want to be able to build a business over time that supports your lifestyle. And that lifestyle is one of making money, making sure you're getting your commission checks, making sure that you're bringing brand new people in, and you wanting to do that, and you wanting to do that all day, every day, even when you're not in your workspace or your office or your phone. You want to be doing this, right? Like, you want it to be doing it for you. The beautiful thing is we're in an age where technology and everything is around us, and so not taking advantage of this is absolutely ludicrous. That's what it comes down to. So you are the smart ones. If you're doing the work, you are the smart ones who want it, who are going to build this system. Systems, it's a big word, this thing that gets thrown, especially around here. We got systems everywhere. Everyone wants a system. I got a system for that. I got a system for that. But my friends, if you look at what you're currently doing, what is your lead generation system right now? If you look at it and you can't say this is my lead generation system, if it's just posting and praying, there is no difference between a great post and a good post and an average post. You are posting and praying no matter what. It doesn't matter how structured your schedule is. It doesn't matter how many pieces of paper you have in front of you regarding your social media strategy. It's all a post and pray. Because at the end of the day, you don't own it. So you're just going to have to hope that the right message falls on the right eyeballs at the right time, and hopefully they're on the court at the same time reading it. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. So that is not a good strategy to have. And if you're and okay, so let's let's just jump in here and let's just get through, because I got some visuals for you to sort of understand this. And again, automation. I don't want you to get all hyped up about the word automation. All it is you look at all your genius, like all your daily methods of operation, all the things that you do, all the things that that you're doing on a daily basis, things that need to get done. And then the question then is, could I get something else or someone else to do this instead of me? Right? So if you are a person who loves to speak directly to camera, and like we did ask that question, and we are going to cover that a little bit more tomorrow in terms of the, where do you take this to, and how do you, really set up the megaphone for your business. And we are going to be like, that's where we are going to be relying on social media, because that is the megaphone. But you look at it and go, if I'm a direct to camera type of guy, no one else can do it, right? Like no one else can do me. I can't get a stand-in. Well, I could get a stand-in and just sort of sit me there and sort of say, okay, just act like B-Dog, right? Like act like him, say the things that come out. But that's where I need to be. That's where my best effort is put into this business. Now, is there something that, in terms of my lead generation and prospecting, is there something that I could put in the way that could do a little bit of work for me without me having to do it all myself? And if we're relying on things like Messenger and relying on that there is a lot of that which is manual. And if you're manual, it means you are not free. Okay, like that's what it comes down to. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, and a lot of us have built an amazing business. We have amazing business. We continue to have amazing businesses because of our manual ability to talk in Messenger, to go through all these different things and to spend time and energy on it. So there is an element of that, but automation just helps you along the way. It sort of gives you foundations to stand up on, to keep moving yourself up, to reach your heights, to build that brand further, and of course, get your message out to more people, right? We are all, me and you, we are content creators. That's what we do. I'm sure today you have already sat there on your phone and looked at different things and said, right, I've got to create a post. I've got to find a picture. I'm trying to, create the right post for the mood, what's happening in the news at the moment. You've got all these things going on. We all do. We all have this stuff happening in our daily business. And all the while, what is it for? The whole focus of it is to try to attract people to you. That's the game, right? Like, you didn't post just something just so no one would read it. You're posting it so you are spending the time anyway on it. You are spending the time on creating the piece of content. So it's almost a punch in the face, right? You have spent your genius time. You have spent your research time. You've researched the topic or the content. You've done all these different things. You've spent the time on it. It's a punch in the face when we throw it out to social media and we allow it just to get eaten up, right? And most of the time, we don't know where it goes to, right? Like, it's like, what we said the other day, it's putting a post up on social media is basically like a small business doing a flyer drop, right? Like 25,000, you pick a suburb and you say, I'm going to print out 25,000. So you're spending time and energy on the graphic design. You spend time and energy on the content. You spend time and energy on the print. You spend time and energy on someone running it round. And then hopefully, just hopefully, and I've seen this before, especially being a small business owner, hopefully those 25,000 pieces of paper with all that effort gets put into a mailbox or gets put in front of a family or whatever else that then picks it up, reads it, and then takes action on it. And I'm like, the thing here is you don't get to say in who the 25,000 people are either. So it could be old lady, man, kid, totally not your demographics at all, right? Like, It could be you just basically post and pray. And like I said, I was going to say before, in small business, I've also seen some of those where people have found boxes of their flyers just chucked in the junk, right? Like chucked in the bin. So it really is, but that's what we're relying on, because to be honest, the truth remains that we don't have anything else, right? We don't have anything else, so throw it out and just have a good. And it gets us some of the way, right? Like it gets us some of the way. It won't get us all the way. And so that's what we want to talk about today. So it's about your nurture campaign in particular. So we've gone through our attraction marketing. So just a little bit of a recap. Day one, we did our attraction marketing 101, understanding the vision, understanding what attraction marketing is all about, understanding and agreeing. I think that's almost like, it's really comes hand in hand. It's agreeing with like knowing that we need to do more of it. Like we need to get serious about our brands. We are still our You Inc. brand, but we need to get serious about it. We need to define ourselves, but we also need to create a foundation that supports us and communicates that brand ongoing. Okay, that's what we all want. That's what that's what you sort of hope for in a logo. You go and spend all your money on your logo, and you hope that this one little image represents everything that we are in our brand. But our brand is so much more. It's about how we communicate our message, our mission, our vision with everyone else out there, so that people get an understanding of who we are and they get to decide whether they want more of us, right? Because that's the You Inc. business. We want to be able to generate more leads. So we need to we need to create a lead magnet. We need to put our voice, our understanding, our genius, what we want to put out into the world, who we want to attract. We want to put something together that is a stop sign or an exit sign, if you will, and we'll talk more about that, out into the world and say, stop here for more goodness, right? Like it really is that, I want you to think about your business as that roadside diner. You're putting the sign up and you're putting the menu out there and saying, we've got the best burgers in town. Stop here if you want a burger. You're not trying to get fish and chip guy. You're not trying to get the chicken guy. You're the burger guy or the girl, all right? And I'm just using that, just don't get all uptight that you're a vegan or you don't eat burgers or whatever else. It's got nothing to do with that, and it's got everything to do with finding that hungry market and putting the sign up saying, I'm here when you're ready. And we don't want everyone. Not everyone's going to stop, and we're going to be okay with that. But there's going to be enough. If we understand our niche, we understand our target market, we understand who we want to talk to, we understand their problems and their pain points, we are here to solve it, and we are here to feed them what they want, right? The hungry crowd. That's who we want. And this is really important. This part should not be skipped over and not be... Sometimes, we get to that stage where every conversation starts with, well, here we go again. We're just going to talk about our target market. I'm over it. But the truth be told is you need to be intimately connected to the target market, and their ideas, their pain points, their things are going to be changing on an ongoing basis. So it's important that we are fluid with our target market audience. And we want to, every opportunity we get, we're going to ask them questions, ask them more questions. What do they want? How are they feeling? What problems do they need solving? Because we are interested in the next part of the communication. We want to know, what else can I serve that burger eater? What else can I serve with them? They're really loving that chicken, the chicken drumsticks. Okay, great. We want to do some research on that to say, is this viable for our menu, and could we attract more people or keep them, more importantly, in the shop purchasing more, because that's what we want. All right. So let's just jump in. So we understand that, and then we talked a lot yesterday now about putting the actual physical building up, if you will. And again, this is you got to think a little bit like creatively here. We're putting the physical virtual building up and saying, come and stay here. So we've got our menu, and now we've got our building, and that building was our landing page. It was our opt-in. It's the front door. That's what we built. And hopefully I challenge you, but I also am hopeful that you just get over the technological bump. because it's very user friendly. That like there's so much opportunity out there. There's so many companies who know how to put this together, and all we are doing is borrowing the door. That's what we've done. So creating that 2-page opt-in is all it is. It's your front door to get people in. That's what we want to achieve. So hopefully you've done that. And again, I'm not biased, but for any of the platforms, there's so many different platforms out there. All I did yesterday was to talk about the one that we are using to run this, and I'm giving you my personal experience on how that was, and that was Kajabi. And Kajabi just seems to be friendly for me. And like, I love tech. I would sit there for hours and try to work it out, and this one seems to be the most, like, it doesn't take me any time at all. So that's what I'm. Again, it's not the cheapest one, and if money is the money is definitely a considering factor. There are cheaper options, but it's still, as long as you get the job done, just get your front door up. Okay, so that's really where it is. Now we're going to move into our nurturing. So it's great that we've got a menu, and it's great that we know that the traffic's out there. But we now have to put the door on, and now we've got to put everything in there to keep them in the front door. So I wanted to start off by asking you. Well, I'll share with you just what we'll learn. We're going to talk about the different traffic sources out there, because that's very important. We've got to get more. How do we get more eyeballs on our offers? All right, like, I mean, the current situation is there's promos every month. There's so much, right, in terms of social marketing that comes our way. We are, if you don't have the foundations built, typically it's going to be a reactive business. You're just going to react. It's going to be like running around, with the chicken with its head cut off. Got to get this together, got to get that together. And then it's like, okay, where do you have all this information. It's basically this company like Modere backs up their truck, beep, 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 dumps all their gear on your front door, and then drives off with promos, incentives, new products, all this sort of different stuff. And basically, it's up to you and I to sort and sift and get this into an order that we can then take and market and communicate with our target market. That's really what's going on. And Sammie G put the 3B challenges together because it sort of, that's what we understand's happening, right? Everyone just gets a vitamin dump and a supplement dump on their front door, and basically you've got to work it out, right? There's just a big table, and it's up to us as marketers to define, dissect, and dilute all the noise, and just say, if you're looking for gut health, I just want you to look over here on this part of the table. If you're looking for weight loss, I want you to look at just this part of the table. Don't look at everything, not at once, because it's very overwhelming, and that's why they've been done in that order, because it's just funnels people's attention. And so they're available for everyone to use, and this is such a key part to this, because this is this nurture campaign is a conversation that happens on the lead up or the on ramp to one of those challenges. Because your call to action can just be, at the end of all this, join the challenge, take advantage of this challenge. You don't have to create the thing at the end; it's all there. This nurture campaign, this lead magnet, the front door, all this sort of stuff is like the lead up to making that offer. So we really need to, this is really about generating that lead, pulling their eyeballs onto what you have, and then pulling them into your environment, and then being able to have that conversation with them ongoing. All right, so just so I understand that you understand, does anyone know who this person is? If you could just drop it in the chat and just have a guess. Who's this guy? I hope I'm not frozen too much. I'm hoping and praying that my Wi-Fi is working. So, anyone frozen? I'll just wait. Let me just make sure that everyone's good. I'm just checking my phone to make sure that no one's texting me saying, "B-Dog, you've been frozen for 6 minutes." Okay, who's this guy? Right, so some people know. This guy is Mark Zuckerberg, And he owns Facebook, he owns Instagram, he's like the meta dude. He's got all this, thing going on. And does anyone know how much he's worth? Right? So Mark Zuckerberg, he's worth around $48.6 billion. Okay, so that is a huge amount of dollars. And the reason why he is so worth so much money, okay, great. As long as I'm coming back to you, as long as I come back, and as long as we can keep having this conversation live. So, but he is the guy that owns all the Facebook and all sorts of different stuff. He owns tech. He owns, people who write code and all sorts of stuff. But his main asset is a network. He owns the biggest network in the world. 2.6 billion users and all this sort of different stuff. And, he basically owns us. The reason why he can have so much money and the reason why Facebook is so valuable is the data that it owns. It owns the data, right? And so let's have a look here. I'm hoping I'm still connected to you, but I'm looking around. So I also want you to write this down, okay? And that is the average person takes between 10 to 20 exposures before making a buying decision. And I want to tie this all together, but I want you to write this one down as well, all right? And that is that we understand that this is what's going on. We know as marketers that it's no good with a run and gun, one hit wonder. Here's what's happening, all right? Because people... So this is what we need to understand. So write this down. Make sure this is your understanding as a marketer that we need to expose people for long periods of time. And remember, you're busy. Life happens. Family, sickness, jobs. So you can't always be prioritizing that all your people are seeing your opportunity, your products and services. All right. So what we tend to do is we tend to rely on that guy who really cares about your business. We rely on him to make sure that the average person gets about 10 to 20 exposures of our products and services before they make a buying decision about us. Would that be a fair assumption? And again, if you're with me in the chat, would that be a fair assumption that that's how we run our business up until now that you're really aware of what's going on? But that's what we're tending to do. We're saying, hey, every day I'm going to post stuff. Every day I'm going to come up with content and all lots of stuff about my products and services, and I'm going to get that guy to make sure it gets out to the world. Okay, so we basically ask him to do it. And this is what it looks like, okay? This is you. This is me. Hey, you. I've got the best product ever. It's the best. Don't you even worry. Don't you look sideways. I got the best product ever. Could you just buy my stuff? So that's us, right? And I want you to imagine that this is you with your piece of paper. That's what we're telling. Like basically, when I dilute every post, every cryptic post, everything that goes out on social media, that's basically what they're saying. That's what we all are saying because we want the attention, and that's our post. That's what the post does. I don't care what you call it, value post, engagement post, whatever. We are taking a photo of us standing there with this, and we want people to believe us when we say it's the best product ever and you should buy it. And this is you on the side of the road, and that's your social media. So basically, this is what social media looks like, right? You could just imagine the chaos, the congestion, the stress of life in every. I look at that picture and I think there's a million other things going on in people's lives in each one of those cars. Each one car represents 4 or 5 people with a whole backload of priorities and time management and craziness and hectic life. And here's you on the side of the road saying, I got the best product ever, buy it. So how do you think it goes? How do you think that sign is going to deal with this? Now, to make matters even worse, and I'm not the bearer of bad news. I'm here just to this is the way we think, and hopefully you as a marketer, you think like this too. Like, this is not a pretend game. This is what's going on. This is what we do. So if we look at this also, this is what we rely on, okay? And I'm just going to remove my video. This is what we rely on. We rely on organic reach, right? We rely on, there's this, everyone who's doing crazy stuff wants to rely on becoming viral. Like that's our hope to God, right? Like our hope to God is that someone out there sees us. So just so you understand this organic reach is basically you going on to a social media platform and just posting it out there. And we all think, right? We all think that followers and likes equals audience. Like, that's what we think. That's what we believe to be true. So that's why we go to work every day and we throw up the most amazing piece of content that we spent so much time and energy, which looks a lot like this one. Let me just go back there. We do this, right? So that's our great post. And then we throw it out to there. But then even in our social media, we look at that and go, well, there's loads of cars. There's loads of it. So many people would be able to see it. I've got 4,000 people that are like on my highway, or I've got 20,000 people on my highway. And how do I know it? Because they liked it or they're following me. And this is what's going on by old mate Mark Zuckerberg. He's not even allowing that message to get out there. How do you feel? Let's have a cup of tea. How do you feel about it now? That's why it's so exhausting. It's so exhausting. Because we are all creating content that we care about. Like, we care about this. We care about what we do. We care about people. We care about connecting. We care about building relationships. We care about the products that we promote. We care that someone else gets it. We care about our business. We care about our livelihood. We care about it. So what we do is we walk blindly into this social media, and I don't care what platform you care about. It's all owned pretty much by the same people who are doing the same thing. Unless it's TikTok, or TikTok is owned by, a different corporation or group of people. But that's what's going on, right? Like, it doesn't reach who you think it's going. And that's and again, the final piece of this is they're not even engaged. The people that you have that are either you're counting as a like, counting as a follower, counting as a fan of yours, most of those people aren't even engaged in what you have to say. So here's what I have to say is, and if you don't believe me, do yourself a favor, go now and get a sign like this and stick it out in front of all your adoring fans and ask them to buy it. Just ask them to buy your stuff, because that's what you want to do. It doesn't matter how you present the information, you want them to buy. And so you'll get a sense of who's engaged and who actually fits the target market that's inside of, what you have at the moment. So this is comes down to some things, and that is, at the end of the day, we don't own it. We don't own that traffic. We rent the space. We rent space to basically be allowed to play on the platform. It's free to join. There's no money down. So we don't own anything. We get to play with the new buttons. We get to play with the new features. We get to play around with it, but essentially we don't own it. If we want to be able to communicate anything of any relevance, and again, building our business on these platforms, then my friends, we don't own it. And the way that can happen is you can be shut down in a second and you don't own anything. You can put a post out there, it's not hitting the eyeballs you think it is. Even with the numbers that they even tell you are either following you, liking you, or engaging with you, you can see that there is a very small percentage that actually ever gets out there. And then to make the final, nail in the coffin, you don't even get to decide who that 0.2% is. You don't get to decide on it. So it's a hard task. We are up against it. And as you can see, it has changed over the years. And so this represents this opportunity for us as marketers. My game is to be around in 10, 15, 20 years' time. How am I going to do that? If all these things that we're relying on, and again, I'm not saying this is dead, but I am saying that we need to treat it the way it is treating us, with a grain of salt. And you also need to give your business the respect that it deserves. Because if you're wanting to build $1 million plus, if you're wanting to make the money, it is not just posting and preying on traffic you don't own. And that's the hard thing. And inside of social media, the only way to play inside of the business, if you want to market and promote and get into the eyeballs of your target market, you're going to have to cough it up. You're going to have to cough it up royally. And then on top of that, you also have to play within in the means of what old mate Mr. Zuckerberg has. And you know what the beautiful thing is? They don't even tell you what rules you have to play. They just make you run around in circles. So that's where the ad sort of comes in, because this guy here wants to make $48 billion this year. He doesn't care too much about how your business is growing. He doesn't care. But if you want to use his platform to build your business, you're going to have to pay him the money so that he can then allow you a little bit more bandwidth to get your message across to a slice of people. This is unfair. This is an unfair playing field. But we all walk. We all walk there every single day. We go back to the work and we stick one of those things up and we're back out on that highway waving it around to all these people. And we know that not many people are seeing it. 0.2%, if that, and you don't get to decide. So what is the answer? This is what we want to do. This is what we need to do. This is what me, you, and everyone else who is committed to this is building. We are building an off-ramp. That's how you need to start thinking about this highway of social media, is the off-ramp. And the best thing is you can stick a sign up and you can build the exit you can build the merge off, the outside merger, and you can basically get... Now, not everyone's going to turn off, but you're out in this highway saying there is an exit. There is an exit, guys, out here. Stop for a while at B-Dog's Burger Shop, right? And I'm going to put a sign up, and that is the little bit of information, the attention that I get out there and say, best burgers in town. This is, of course, our lead magnet, okay? This is the signpost that we're going to put out there. And we are going to be going, don't worry, we're going to get back into that. We're getting back into that highway. Don't you worry. We're not coming off social media because we are going to use it to our advantage. But every single time now, instead of me flashing buy my stuff, I'm the best product, I'm just going to let everyone know at any opportunity that there's an exit sign coming up and you can get off it. And that's where the lead magnet comes in. So this is the opportunity that we have. And the best thing is it can be automated. We can put a signpost up and we can say, if anyone any drives past here, it's always open. We're always open. 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got that light that's just like, ding, 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 ding. Hop off here, guys. Hop off here. And the right people, the hungry crowd that are inside of that crazy, hectic highway of social media, they're going to say, okay, we're going to exit. All right. And so the juicier the opportunity, the juicier that lead magnet, the more flavorful, the more value packed, the more, stacked it is, the more you understand your target market, you understand that person in that car, the easier it's going to be for them to make a decision to come off. Okay? So I'm big on the visualization. I need you to see it. I need you to feel it. I need you to be visceral with it, because at the end of the day, when we get off, this is what we want, right? We want them to slow down and get into a cul-de-sac. Now, I don't know what that is called anywhere else, but it's a cul-de-sac. It's like a dead end. It's sort of like a capture. Once we have our traffic in here, there is only one way out. There is one way out, and that is to join in, to go down that little path there on that top left-hand side. Say, you know what? There's only one way to go. Now you can turn around, get back out. It's a long way out, whatever else. But if I can build this once, this road here can happen all day long. I got the sign, they come in, and now they get to slow down a little bit. Now we have a captured market. All right, we've slowed these people down, and now we've got to look after these people because we don't want them to leave. And so this is when they go into that, when they come down that cul-de-sac there and they turn left onto that driveway, this is B-Dog's burger shop. That is not a hair follicle, just for anyone who's playing at home. It is a cul-de-sac. I now own the traffic. I own the traffic. When they drive through the gate, the pearly gates of B-Dog's Burgers, I own the traffic. And then you know what I can do with that traffic? I can do anything I want. I can get them to. Okay, so I'm going to use another example just really quickly, right? You know when you go to a hotel, right? The signs are the beautiful resort and all that sort of different stuff. When you get to the hotel, it's almost like they've got a captured market, right? They've got a captured market, which means they can charge you whatever they want. Who are you going to complain to? You're going to complain to anyone that the drinks are expensive. You're not going to complain to the, to the Coca-Cola reps or whoever, the frozen chip representative. They don't care because the hotel has a captured market, in which case they're going to charge you whatever they want. So because they own the traffic, they own the business, they own the consumption. So an email to this day is your only ownership. And as you can see, Mark Zuckerberg, for example, owns $48 billion worth of data. Am I frozen? Let me just make sure we've all caught up. But if you're with me, just let me know that I'm still here. I will post on the recording, and we are recording here, so it's easier just to keep rolling and then catch up as we go. But in terms of this, we own the actual target market. Okay, we own the market, and this is why emails to this day are still our best bet. It's not the best. It's not going to give us, the highest rate of anything. It's not going to guarantee anything. And this is the reality of it, though. It's traffic and ears and eyes that we own. And this is why this is very important. This could be one of the most important decisions you make. It is going to take commitment. It is going to take consistency. No different to us all going out every day and standing on the highway for hours on end, aka social media, with our little white sign going, buy my stuff. That takes commitment. That takes consistency. That takes brute, coming up with content and like it takes brain power. It takes bandwidth. But we understand that this is another form of traffic that we actually own. So hopefully you're starting to get it. And I wanted to, and if you don't get it, right, if you're saying to me, B-Dog, shut up. if you're saying to me, who's this guy talking about? He doesn't know what's going on. Email's dead. I've even got my email. Like, I even show you how many emails I don't open and all that sort of different stuff. So I look at, first of all, I'll give you the stats, okay? 99% of users on email, 99% open their inbox every day. 99%. Okay, so that is the first number. The second thing is you own the data, in which case you can move it around, you can CSV file it, you can pull it, you can template it, you can do whatever you want with it, you can put it into other places, you can do whatever else you want. You can't do that with your Facebook friends. You can't do that with your likes. You don't have a clue who liked you unless you click on it and go through it. But even then, you don't even have a clue who's going on. And to be honest, they're not even engaged. At least with this, they've made a decision to get off the highway and join B-Dog's Burgers, Burger Barn. So 99% of users. Now, the other thing then I look at is I'll just use the last 4 days. Okay, I've done posts, content, or whatever else. Every email I've written, every email, every word, every piece of content, I spent 10 minutes at least writing one email and formatting it and creating a filter and putting photos on it and making sure that the template's right and making sure that the timer's right and making sure all this. I spent all that time and then I sent it. I sent it out and it got delivered to 100% who were on my list. Now, it's not to say that everyone opened it. I get it. Not everyone's going to open it, but guess what? You are relying on a 0.2% organic reach on what's going on out on social media at the moment, and you don't have a clue who's getting it. At least I know I've got 124 people, and that message, that one piece of message that I wrote for that one human that was on there, 100% of it got out. 100% of you have got the information on that email. What you do with it is up to you. I don't have control at the end of it, but I can control what the information. So I could market, I could promote, I could create content every single day and send it to you, right? Every single day I could post out and I can do whatever I want with it. Now, some people are like, yeah, but some people don't want to open their email and stuff. You don't care too much about social media either, but you're posting 3 to 5. I've heard people post 5 to 10 times a day. Why? Is the first one not good enough? Nah, it's because you don't have a clue. You're just throwing it out all day, every day. You don't even know what's going on. Whereas this, you can slow it down, create some great content, and then you can post it out and you know that 100% on your list got it. And then you can start playing around with upping the averages. Creating a different headline could create a different approach. This open rate was better for this. This is what's going on. This is how this happened. You can control it, in which case you can build it. And my last little point about it is I look at people who are much further ahead than me. And I look at a person who I follow, who I'm influenced by, who I sort of consider as, the go-to person is definitely Russell Brunson. And I'm sure that, if you've done anything with ClickFunnels and whatever else, you know who Russell Brunson is. And once you have Russell Brunson in your life, you can't get rid of that guy because he's a brilliant marketer. And that's what he's doing. He's promoting a product, right? He's promoting a product and he's just a freaking amazing marketer. He's just on fire. Everywhere you go, he is there. So I looked at my email list and I wanted to show you this, right? This is Russell Brunson. This is all my emails that I get from this guy daily, every single day. He has not missed a beat. And so that in my eyes, now I haven't opened a lot of these. As you can see, I don't open them. But all I'm saying is, if this guy's doing it, who's a mega marketer, I'm doing it too. Until when he says email's dead, don't ever go to emails again, I'm even getting off it, I'll believe him. I don't believe the people that say I haven't opened all my emails, because they're not ahead of me. Like, if you're looking up to people, look at what they're up to, right? And he is a mega millionaire. I spent thousands of dollars with that guy. And every single day, every single 2 days, he smashes me on an email. And I don't ever get rid of him. Why? Because I value his opinion when I need it. When I'm looking at a product that serves me, or I'm interested, or I have a hunger, or I want to, like I'm looking for B-Dog's Burger Shop or Brunson's Burger Shop for this one, I know where he is. I can go Google him, or I can go straight to his email. He's going to tell me all about his promotions. He's going to tell me all about ClickFunnels 2.0. He's going to tell me about all his new books that are coming out. He's telling me every single day, because that's the traffic that he controls. And his job is to nurture that. And I've seen a lot of people like, do I have to talk to customers and all that sort of stuff? They are your hottest, that's your hottest property that you own. Why wouldn't you be talking to them every opportunity you get? All right, so because that's what these masterful people are doing. So I take their word for it over anyone else, right? Like people who are like, I don't use emails. It's like, well, let's have a look at how you do build your business. What is your lead strategy? I don't know. Just stuff. Just do a bit of stuff. Maybe dance up and down or something. It's like, okay, so you dance up and down on like maybe a TikTok or something. That may one of them gets a blow up, and you get likes and followers and views. But how's that going for your money? Like, how's that going for money in the bank? Oh, well, no one's actually bought anything, but I got loads of views. It's like engagement you can't take engagement to the bank. Okay, like bank, I'm good for it, bro. Like, I got 1 million views on this one. They don't care, and I don't think you care either when you're paying your bills and all that sort of different stuff. Okay, so this is why this is very important, and I really want you to get it. And so let's dive in then. Okay, so you own it. Likes, there you go, Patrina. That is right there. Likes don't pay the mortgage. They don't. They make us feel good. And you know what it does? It also it gives us enough of a dopamine hit to go back there tomorrow. That's what it does. But by the end of this, I want you to get a different foundation built, because you can take this network, the traffic you own, you can take it forever. You can have it forever. You can warm it up. You can keep it warm. You can fire it up. You can send as many emails as you want. If you want to send 3 emails a day, that content, at least, it's free as well. But that content will be delivered to 100% of your list. Now, they may not like it 3 times a day. They may not even see it 3 times a day. But that's a better option. They're better odds. They're better percentages. They're better at all of the stuff because you own it. All right. Get off my soapbox of traffic that you own and don't own. So the goal of this business, like we said, the goal of this business is 15. We already know that we're up against it. 10 to 20 exposures before someone even considers making a buying decision of what we have. So if we understand that, the game then is multiple exposures over a short amount of time. That's the goal here. That's the goal. So, and I'm just jumping on this. I just want to put this out here. I got 4.8 million views on one reel, 6.5 thousand followers from it, and only 200 roughly see it, my stories. And so here's my question then, Jade, for that one. I love this. How many sales, how many directly, of all that stuff, how many directly impacted your bottom line, aka the bank? How many of that you made money from? All right, because we're such a crazy bunch. We measure our success, we measure our impact on views and likes, and at the end of the day, though, it's not making us any more cash. So as a business, that's good exposure. But again, it's the exit sign. If you don't have the exit strategy off the highway, those people are just going to drive past. It's no different to seeing the big billboard on the, and some of them make us laugh. But did we then go to buying the product? Did we jump on the phone after that and go, okay, I'm going to buy that life insurance because that billboard was funny. Now you remember it, and that's what that point is. But that's making sure that you're driving down that highway, and making sure that you see it at the same time. So Jade thinks she got one sale from it, and so that's right. So okay, so I'm having a conversation with myself on the message. So lots of prospects, but no sales. So Jay, I love this conversation. So when you mean prospects, do you mean that now you own all their information? Are they prospects saying, here's my email address and here's my stuff? Or is it just more people liked your page? Like, prospects are people that have driven down your cul-de-sac and then turned left into your shop and now are looking around. All right, so these are the clues. So we want to make sure multiple exposures over a short amount of time. This is what it's all about. Okay, so now let's move into the technical side of things. All right, and all right. So I just need to finish this up, okay? Because this conversation has been happening. So Jade, some are interested. You think they're interested and want to see more reels. Others can't even remember they pressed follow because they're just scrolling. There you go. Just like the highway of reels. It's the highway of TikTok. It's the my daughter's been watching the YouTube shorts. She's not allowed to. That's right. So Jade, you don't own their info. In which case, they could be here today, gone tomorrow. My daughter's watching. She's not allowed TikTok. So she gets around it by watching YouTube shorts. So she tells us, it's not TikTok, Dad. It's YouTube shorts. It's the same thing. So here she is watching it, and it's like, boom, boom, right? The next one. And then I said to her, so what did you watch 5 minutes ago? Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you what was going on because it's like here, it's throwaway content. It's just gone. And so this is not the only business strategy. Now, I'm not saying that that's good exposure. I'm not saying any of that sort of thing. What I am saying is what we want to do is we want to pull that in, and I want to capture. I want the net, right? It's like fishing with a net, like fishing, going out fishing with with a round hula hoop. That's what's going on. It's just like you're driving along on your boat with a hula hoop and with no net on it. It's just sort of like, and all these fish are swimming through. You're like, woo, this is so cool. At least put a freaking net on it, right? Like, get out there with your hula hoop with a net on it and at least scoop some up and throw some in the boat. Otherwise, you're going to go hungry. And I'm sure in terms of your business, this is what's going on. Some of you are going hungry at the moment. You don't have any more leads to talk to. You don't have any more people to talk to. You don't have no more customers to talk to. It's because you are fishing with a hula hoop. And that's what's happening. So let's have a look at this. So this is where you're at, all right? So lead funnel framework. Yesterday we spoke about the opt-in and the thank you. And again, don't get caught up with B-Dogs using Kajabi or whatever else. We now need to build this, which is our email sequence. So once your opt-in and thank you page is set up, you will integrate them with your email service provider, ESP. Each new lead is added to your email service provider. You can send them a delivery email with their lead magnet. All right. An email service provider is a service that allows you to collect email addresses from visitors, taking the traffic from what you don't own to the traffic that you do own. And once they're in there, the sequence basically is automatic, in which case, guess what? You don't even have to be there. You don't. So now what we're saying is build the net, put the hula hoop on, and once it's done with your email service provider, you can actually stick it on the boat and then leave it there and just keep driving, or even better still, not be on the boat, and that thing's still collecting fish. So you can come back the next day and go, oh, scoop up, put in. Hey, there we go. You don't even have to. It's so unmanual. It's not funny. The hardest part here, and here's what's going to happen. The hardest part is creating the emails in the first place. We've hula hoop. That's what it's all about. Pool. So the hardest part of this is just sitting down with our Snapchat brains, our TikTok brains, and actually just going, I've just got to spend an hour to write 5 emails in sequence to work out what it will look like. And basically, what you put in the email is basically what you say every single time anyway, in 5 separate bits, in just small chunks. Welcome. Thank you very much for being a subscriber. You know what? I absolutely love connecting with other people. This is, it's the thing that I do all the time, and it lifts me up, and hopefully, along this journey that we're gonna take together, I can impart some knowledge in you. I can show you some value and show you reasons why I'm so excited about what I do. Stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way. That could be email number 1. And if you're not a good writer, just you use your voicemail or your voice memo and just record what you would say if you met someone for the first time and you told them a little bit about you and thanking them for what they've just done. Say that, and then type it out. Say it like write it like you say it. So, okay, so this is just a framework. If you love framework, if you love I need it in pieces of, like, I need to write an intro, like, the old school essay, intro, body, conclusion. If it's written in that way, I know what I'm going to write, and I know what I'm going to write, and then I know what to write in the middle. This is the content framework. Number 1, get their attention. That's your email title, your subject. The best thing about this is, with your email, write it once, and you can always tweak it. People aren't opening that. Why? Well, let's just go to the attention-grabbing headline first, because that's the first thing that people are going to read, right? And again, if I go back just really quickly to my mate, Mr. Russell Brunson, and hang on a minute, let me just go down there. So the first thing here is, grab the whole enchilada for free. Dan Kennedy's new book, Last Chance, 3 hours until the effort. They've got an urgency title in there. Over $22,458 in bonuses. Would you click it? The top FHL speaker interviews you can't miss. Okay, I'm going to get on that one. If I'm bootstrapped, only 24 hours left, you need to get on there. Okay, great. Right, well, I need to do it. They are just testing and measuring. See, the thing is, with the framework side of things, if you can measure it, you can monitor it. I mean, how do you know that your content at the moment is doing what you want it to do? There's no measure. There's no metrics. There's nothing here that you can measure. There's no percentages. You can't look at anything. You can't see what's going on. You can't see conversion rates. You can't split test anything. You can't do anything. But with emails, I can see the open rate, in which case the headline is the very first thing that's going to either make or break you opening the email. And so that's step number 1. Try it out. It's got to be in your face, like boof, like you got to open it. And so you get to test as a marketer. That's what I think is super exciting, is testing and measuring. It's working out what works and what doesn't, what works and what doesn't. If that works, oh my gosh, I should do more of that, right? So attention is definitely number 1. And if you want to create posts, this could still be the same way that you do it. What's going to grab their eyeballs and grab their attention? Because email in itself is its own highway. The beautiful thing is you get to control all 100% of where it goes, of where this lands. Number 2 is create interest. The interest is the small little bit of a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of an interest when you open up that email, and also the information that sits underneath the email, because you could almost it's like the whole message where you can read the message in Messenger without opening it. So you can sort of see, it gives you a little bit of a taste. So if it's interesting, make it interesting, all right? And so this could be an interesting story. It could be an interesting did you know? It could be an interesting, like just something of interest, something of interest that makes you go, oh, I might read on. The point of all this, the point of the attention-grabbing headline or email is basically to get someone to open it. I know we have copywriters and all, magazine owners Maureen's on here, right? So Maureen, reached out and she's in here and she was talking about she owns a publication and magazine editorial. What's going on? The thing at the front that sits on the front of the magazine is the headlines. Why? Because it compels someone to go, would I read that? Is that of interest to me? And do I care? And so you go to the front and if, all the editorials like, read this, watch this, 5 nights here, check out the new look, colors and all that stuff, whatever the magazine is. But the whole point of that front cover is for you to pick it up and buy it. And then you look through because you're interested in it. And so that story, that next bit needs to be interesting. Give them some facts, give them some data, give them some, some ways of why you're writing what you're writing. Then the third bit is about desiring it. Right? You're going to create some desire inside of this conversation or this little bit of content. Again, these emails don't have to be they could be two paragraphs, 2 sentences. It doesn't have to be, oh my God, I've got to sit here for hours and write an email. I'm going to lose the plot. I get it. This is an opportunity to tell a story. No different to you sitting there at the moment creating posts. You're going through the same. You're using the same brain space. You're just thinking write on a Word document or write on your notes. I even sit here on my phone and just write it out. And if it's a good one, I put it on my notes first so it's saved. So then when I go, I can click on that copy and I can post it over to social media world. But I can also, I can also put it in an email. So creating desire, future pacing it. Being able to say, imagine a life that you'd be able to live doing this. Imagine your life without, bloating and discomfort. Imagine the life of whatever else. Imagine if you followed these 3 steps, how easy your life would be, making it easy for someone to say, thank you so much. That's what I want out of my life. And number 4, action. If you love this, click this, grab this, check out this, check out my podcast, check out this bit of reference, this resource, or whatever else goes on, and give them next steps. Here's my promo. Here's, three things of gut health. And by the way, if you're wanting to check this out, we've got a sale on at the moment with this gut health products or whatever else. If you want skin looking like mine, this is the products that I use. Grab it. Here's the link below. I'm going to share it. And anyway, see you later. Until next time, I'm signing off. There's your email. AIDA, the AIDA principle is still it still works. It's not broken, so there's no need to, try to unbreak it or doing other things with it. It works. Stick to the framework. Okay, so now let's have a look at your nurture sequence. So these are 5. All this is, and again, people are going to be sweating. It ain't much to do. Number 1, start with a welcome email. Welcome your new subscriber into your community. Add links to your social media and get connected with them. Hey, thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for clicking it. I hope you get a lot out of the publication that I've just sent you. Here it is. Here's the link again. If you're missing out, download now. Put a button in there. Anyway, this is what we're all about. I love talking about skincare. I love talking about weight loss. I've helped so many thousands of people. Did you know that over 95% of people, today are looking for healthy ways to, live longer or whatever else? Oh, I didn't know that. And you know what? By following a few simple steps, you too can achieve the, amazing things that we're offering here. And you're not alone. Welcome to our community. Welcome to our tribe. Bring people in and say, you know what? It's nice. You're like the maitre d'. This email's like, the maitre d' of the restaurant. Welcome. Thank you so much. Take a load off. Sit down. Let me take your jacket. Is there anything else I can get you? Let me soften you in. So when it comes time to the bill, you don't come and get it. You say, well, it's justified because that guy's really nice when he walks in. So the maitre d'. So that's your first email. Number 1, write it. Don't overthink it. Just write it. Write it on a Word document to start off. Number 2, icebreaker email. Share a little of your story. How long and how did you get into your niche? Well, I've been talking about people's poo for years. You know what? I do it every day, so I know all about it. I'm kind of a professional, right, Joe Butler? I mean, like, I'm just using that as an example, but I mean, just break the ice. It's no different to getting to know someone. The best thing is that with this, once it's written and you're happy with it, it works all day, every day. You're meeting people all day, every day, which you don't even know. It's brilliant, right? So anyway, day 3, the aha moment, the story behind finding the solution, the product, the results you got. Share a little bit of your story. Like, what led you to this? Why are you so passionate about this? Help them understand it. And just share with them your epiphany. Share the solutions. Share your results. Just share. This is just about just think of an email as a little story. A little bit of attention at the top, a little bit of interest, get some desire there, next steps. Even if the call for action is, look for my next email where I'm going to share with you a case study about old mate who is very similar to what you're experiencing, and have a look at what they've overcome. See you in the next email. That could be your call to action. The next one, your emails, your ask for action. You actually ask them. I mean, how many times do you want people to sort of, it's like, oh, when do I bring in the conversation about my product? I mean, especially with Messenger. Messenger can go back and forth for hours, and you're still dancing around it. It's like, get to the point. And this one, you can write the point in, and you can write it by yourself. You don't even have to have the conversation with anyone before you do it. Write it down. Sell the benefits of your product. Case studies, testimonials, future pacing. Borrow someone's story. Borrow someone's before and after. Borrow someone's testimony. Make sure you ask them. Even interview them. Take the gold nuggets away. You can even put that into. You can put in a video in that email and say, hey, I just jumped off an interview with this guy or this lady. This is what she's been able to achieve. I'd love to share it with you. I'm just checking in here. Here it is. Check it out. See you later for now. And by the way, if you want the products that she's talking about or want to know the secret to what she's doing, here's your call to action. Message me or just email me back and say I'm ready to go. Now, if you have a call to action like that and they're ready to go, I want you to get this. The first actual time, if you're doing this, the first actual time that you are going to have a physical conversation with this brand new subscriber is day 3 or 4, after they've already consumed. They already know a little bit about you. They know your story. They know what's going on. They know, they have a rapport. They've established a rapport with them. And now they're messaging you back saying, I want to know more about these products. Let's jump on the phone, or you can contact me here, or here's an email, or we can talk through email. And now you are talking to a red hot prospect, a red hot one. They're here ready to order. And this is the first physical time, if you do them right. And again, remember, this thing's working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, around and around in circles it goes. And if they're reaching out to you and you do a great job of, warming them up and sharing that story, and again, being authentic, being a human being, and you say to them, listen, if you want to know about the secret products that I've got, or these product range, or this what we've been talking about, again, remember, you can use the challenges. You can use all the challenges that are there. They're there to be used. If you want to get on the gut health cycle, or you want to get on the weight loss, or you want to increase your performance, or you want to live clean, or whatever it is, whatever fits your mold, especially with these products, this is the opportunity to have that chat with them. And by then, these people are good to go. They're good. They've got their credit card out. They're just like, I just want to order it. Just tell me where to order it. And it's like, all right, this ain't so hard. Right? So anyway, all right. So I'm just finishing up on these emails. The number 5 then is, if it doesn't happen like that, what do? Well, you don't cry. You're not going to cry about it if someone doesn't email you. What you do is you keep going. What's our motto? 15 and 20 exposures over time before someone even makes a buying decision. So by now, these are 4, 5, 6 exposures, which 100% of the time is going to smack them in the eyeball. Whether they touch it or not is a different story. But that person is being communicated and connected to you for at least 5 days in a row, one after the other, because that it's a marketing numbers game. So if you ask for action and they don't take your word for it, guess what you do? You turn up tomorrow. And the best thing is, you're not holding the hula hoop with the net. You've already built it. So you don't even have to, you can do this in your birthday suit. You don't even have to worry about it. Number one question email. What's the most common question or objection? I would be covering objections here. The number one question email, the most common question you get asked about your product, answer it here. You know what? You would never guess what the number one question that I get out of all this is. It's about price. It's about longevity. It's about, is this product right for me? Today, I'm going to dispel all those myths so that you don't have to worry about it, because guess what? I've had those conversations with thousands of people over my years of, dealing with gut health or skin care or weight loss. And here it is. Here's my best advice. See you tomorrow. And then from then on, you can actually, okay, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I want you to write these 5 emails. That's all you're going to do. So here's your call to action. Number 1, compile your email content. Follow that structure. 5 emails. Just do them. And again, write it like you're talking to that person. Make it authentic. Make it you. Put your personality into it. It's not an essay. It's just an email. It's a bit of content. That's all it is. If you have some supporting images, you can put them in. If you have a video, you can put them in. And again, we're going to talk tomorrow about becoming omnipresent. Because if you're spending all this time here, you want to be able to make sure that everything, all these roads are connected. Because tomorrow you're going to build the highway of you, Inc. Not just your burger shop. You're going to build a whole interconnecting highway, super highway of you, Inc. And you've got to make sure that your foundations are right. Number 2, build it into your autoresponder. Hopefully MailChimp, Aweber, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, wherever you do it, just build it. Start a campaign. It'll ask you, campaign. I'll just put me there because that's my little screen. There you go. I'll just make it nice and pretty. So look here I am. So action 1, compile that email content. Again, put it on your notes, scribble it down. Write it on a Word document, whatever. Just write them once. And then you can format them inside of your autoresponder. Whatever campaign you're using, whatever provider you're using, it all has the same thing. And I want you to drip it every single day. The first 5 days. And again, you're going to do that anyway on your social media, I'm sure. You're going to smash them every single day. So many people have this oh my gosh, I don't want to interrupt them on their email every day. It's like, well, why not? Because you're doing it to everyone else every day on social media. So why don't you do it here to people who actually care about what you're talking about, rather than texting posting every day and your mum loving it? Get over it. You're a marketer. If you're not pissing someone off in marketing, you're not marketing hard enough. I mean, you're nurturing a relationship. Once someone said yes to you, they're hot to trot. Butter them up. Show them what's going on. Make sure that you're here and showing value, giving loads of value. If you keep asking them for a sale, absolutely, I'd delete you too. But no different to you going out to social media content world at the moment and sticking up a big white piece of paper with "My product's the best, buy my stuff." All right, so so build your autoresponder inside your ESP, and then all you got to do is connect it. Now, if you're in Kajabi, it's already connected. You don't even have to do anything. If you're in MailChimp and you're using, another like a provider, like a Sam's Card or a Lead Pages or whatever else, you are going to that. You just Google. Here's what you do: Google, how do I connect MailChimp to Lead Pages? It'll say you're looking for an API key. You'll find the API key in the MailChimp. Here it is here. Grab that number, and then you go to old mate, Lead Pages or ClickFunnels or wherever else, and you go, how do I connect my email? And they'll have a little blog that says, this is how you do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and you just do it. It's just get it done and get connected. So that is team. Man, Sammie G needs to be here because I just got on a rant. But hopefully you can see it. Hopefully visually. You start to appreciate what's going on, what's real, rather than all the hypiness, And to be honest, inside of social media, inside of your personal page, you see the same people all the time. They just keep coming like a revolver. I mean, you want to get out of that pool. You want to get out of you want to go over the top of that and sort of start to connect with with like-minded people who are only interested in what you have to say. And so, so you don't. So just get the emails done. Worst case scenario, you just get them written. Just write them down, and then like we'll figure it out after that. But just get that done. That is your action stations for today, and hopefully you get to see, that building this, like this, really understanding attraction marketing, and having these foundations built. It's not going to blow up in a minute, but you have the makings of something that long term, you're in the long term game. And my final thing is, I can see this inside this business. If you don't have this, you're chasing the low lying fruit all day long. It's like round and round circles, and the whole like, oh, I'm just going to try and get that person, I'm going to go talk to that person because I know. It's like most people that I know that aren't in our business already, most of the people that I know, majority of them, I probably wouldn't say that they should come and join my business anyway. I wouldn't want my mum joining my business, for example. Like, but she's the one that, she's connecting with me all day on social media. She loves my posts. But I'm not really interested in talking to her. Like, I'll talk to her enough. I talk to her about other stuff, but I don't want to build a business with her. I want to build a business with a certain type of person. And that's what I'm looking for. And I can tell you now, there's millions of people out there. There are millions of people who are looking for what you have right this very minute. You've just got to get them out of that highway of social media and into your cul-de-sac.